Hey guys, Alex here in another Insta360 video. Since I've been using these cameras for about 2 years and Insta360 just launched their X4 Air and not too far ago the X5, I decided to do a video comparing the two and why I think these cameras are the best cameras for cyclists that want to record your ride, want to share it on Instagram or YouTube or with your friends. These are the cameras to have on your bike or with you. If you're not familiar with 360 cameras, what they do is they have a camera on the top and on the bottom recording 360 degrees, and then they stitch everything together. So you can record, you can attach this camera to your bike or on a selfie stick, record without worrying too much which angle to get, which frame to get, because it will be recording 360 degrees. You enjoy the ride. After the ride, you can connect it to the app on your phone or on your computer, and then you can choose the best frame and you can get some pretty cool shots. So what I love doing is attaching the 360 camera in front of my bike, and when I'm in a serious race or going super fast and I don't want to take my hands out of the handlebar, it starts recording. I'm riding downhill, uphill on a race, and it's recording 360 degrees, and then after the ride, I can check the angles, and it's pretty amazing what this camera can do. Now the Insta360 came with the X4 Air. That is an improvement from the previous one that was the X4. One of the great features of this camera is that it's lighter, only 160 grams. It weighs the same as an iPhone Air, and it weighs less than my iPhone 15. So it's pretty light, and comparing to the X5, also smaller. And if you want to catch a cyclist's attention, just say something is lighter. So pretty cool that they are going smaller and lighter. You don't want to have a super bulky camera sometimes on your bike, although I've been using the X5 for quite a while and it never gives me problems, never worries me much, but I love the idea of going smaller and lighter. Less is better. So both cameras do the same thing. They record 360 degrees. But there are a few key differences I'll touch in a bit. But first, what they are very similar. Both have wind guards, so it minimizes the noise of the wind, and that's great when you're on a bike. You encounter a lot of wind, so this minimizes that noise from the wind. Both are waterproof, so good to go in the water. Also, for both, you can replace the lens, and that's very important because if you see the Insta360 camera, the lens protrudes outside of the camera, so it's very easy to scratch it. And it happened with me on the ride to Six Gap. When I finished the ride, I was removing the camera from the bike and it slipped from my hand, fell on the ground, and it scratched the lens. But Insta360 sells a kit with a spare lens, with the tool, everything you need to easily replace the lens. So that if you do scratch the lens, you don't lose the camera. You just replace the lens and you're good to go. Also, both have great battery life, and you can carry spare batteries because the battery is replaceable. Although, usually when I do these 4-hour rides, I'm not recording the whole 4 hours. I'm recording small parts of the ride or interesting parts of the ride, and it's more than enough to last the whole race. But if you need, you can carry some extra batteries in your back pocket. And both cameras have memory slots, so you can put a micro SD and put as much memory as you want. And that's a good thing because if you're gonna record 8K, 6K, 4K, you're gonna need a lot of memory. And both shoot with great quality, but that's where you start to see a little bit of a difference between the X5 and the X4 Air. The X5, you can record all the way to 8K and also slow motion, so it has more frames per second. The image quality is a tiny bit better, let's say a tiny bit more professional. The X4 Air is also great quality, but it has a little bit of limitation of how much frames per second you can do. So usually when I'm riding, I put 4K and I like to put 60 frames per second. That's when you're gonna have the smoothest video and recording. This one you can go 4K, but all the way to 50 frames per second. That is very good for an action camera, but it's not as good as the X5. If you are a casual rider, want to share some videos with your friends on Instagram, the X4 Air is a great option. If you want to go a little bit more professional and you want like cinematic, more videos, maybe the X5 is the way to go. But I use, for example, the X4 Air on the GFNY Sebring a couple weeks ago. It was like a race, and an intense race, that the only camera I could carry was this one attached to the front of my bike, so I could tell a little bit of a story of the race. And it was a pretty intense race, so let me share that story with you using the X4 Air. So yeah, great camera to attach it to your bike, tell some stories, and not even on the bike. You know, you can carry with a selfie stick when you go hiking, when you are on the beach, wherever you go. It's a great camera. You just record, and then after you can go over the footage and see the best angle that you want to add to your video. Also, their app is super easy to use, super user-friendly. They also have an AI editing that you just throw your video and the AI will catch the best angle and create a little clip for you. And the great thing is that you can choose even the ratio of the video. If you want it for YouTube, you want horizontal, or you want to do a Reels, you can do vertical. You decide that after. When you connect the camera to the app, you can do all that, and it's super easy to use. And I know you're gonna ask, how do I attach this camera to the front of the bike? Now they have two mounts that you can attach the camera to the bike. One is for the regular stem, so any regular stem you can attach with this front mount. Now, if you have an aero bar, that's a little bit more tricky because they do have the aero mount, but it doesn't fit all handlebars, all aero bars, depending on which manufacturer you have. I know Canyon with their aero bar with the two bolts underneath, that will work. Also the Roval, Specialized Roval, I believe that will work. On mine, I use the Factor, I ride the Factor Ostrovam, and I have the black ink. I had to do a little adaptation to be able to make it work. And I'm actually gonna show you how I did it. So a lot of people ask me how do I mount the Insta360 Aero bar to my black ink bar stem, and this can be similar to your bar that maybe is not black ink, but uses the same concept of mounting it. So if you can see underneath, there's two bolts. A lot of I think the Roval Specialized, they are just the two bolts mounted straight to the bar. Black Ink has this little mount. This is the original mount that here you install the mount for their Black Ink computer mount. But I removed it, left the mount, so this way the Insta360 mount is straight and flush to the bar. So that's how I do it. I use the same bolts as this one, and I install it to the original mount, but without the front part where you put the bike computer. It's very sturdy, works really well. You just got to be careful, guys, when bolting it to your handlebar. You don't have to overdo it. A lot of people over torque it and end up stripping or damaging their bar. So usually it's 3 Newton meters the max you need to go to mount it, and it worked great. It looks a little weird over here, but it doesn't bother me, and it's been working great. I did 6 gap, GFNY, super intense, bumpy rides, fast rides, and it didn't move an inch. Super stable, worked great with the computer mount, with the by computer, and the camera mounted to the front. And Insta360 has a bunch of accessories that you can add to the camera, like remotes, like guards to protect better your camera. If you want to go deeper in the water, there are cases where you can go over, like if you need to go like over 50 feet deep, there is that accessories, microphones, selfie sticks, super long selfie sticks, because the cool thing, you have the selfie stick becomes invisible. Their software makes the black selfie stick become invisible, so it looks like you're holding nothing. And that's another great thing. They have also a tail mount where you can attach to the back of the bike, so if you're riding alone, it looks like someone is recording you, but actually is the camera attached to the selfie stick recording you. And I usually, when I'm not on a race and I'm just riding, for example, I go a lot with my wife and we ride around, I like to take this camera with the selfie stick and just record us riding, and it's a great camera to do that too. So if you're looking for an action camera, I think the Insta360, their 360 cameras are a great option. Great for vlogging, great for action, great for underwater, great for on the bike. It's just a great camera. So of the Insta360 camera, the X5 is one of my favorites. Also because it records very well in dark places. It has the pure video mode, so if you record a lot at night or in places where there's not enough light, it will perform very well. So if you're looking and you're in doubt which camera you want to get, if you're looking for a little bit more power, a little bit more image quality, a little bit more cinematic and more options in your video, maybe the X5. The X4 Air, it's a little bit more affordable, so more budget friendly, a bit lighter, a little limitation on the image quality, but still very powerful, great camera. You can go with this one. Now, at the end of the year, I know they're running a special if you're looking for a Christmas present or something like that. You want to go to their website because they're running some special deals on the X5. So I'm going to leave a link in the description that will take you to Insta360 website, and there you can check all of their cameras. Also their bundles, because they do sell bundles, the camera with additional batteries, accessories, and you can save there too. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And as always, I'll see you on our next ride experience. Ciao.